Hello, everyone. So today it's Easter Sunday, beautiful morning, and we're going to put the fourth mount on Uno. He's really done well. I'm going to really abbreviate this prep work, but I want to move him around a little bit, get his mind kind of focused. He's moving out well, pretty free. And we just keep making little advancements. He's pretty comfortable. You can see how he's not as leany. He's starting to stand up and find his balance and comfortable loping around here. He would still rather way more be with me and just kind of go. When I ask him to stop, though, he just hits the brakes now. Those are nice things to have going on. Watch me adjust my horse. If he doesn't come up to me, I'll adjust my horse and kind of open a door for him to come. So sometimes just taking a step forward, a step back, step to the side will get enough to draw that horse in. And understanding these things and using how horses communicate with each other is really a fun part of the process, and figuring out just what gets them thinking about different things. I enjoy so much in horsemanship is about position, timing, creating feel. These things, and studying the horse. I want to study this horse and see how he's reacting to things. It's not just going around and around. I mean, there's thought to this. There's watching his reaction to things. You can see he's like, yep, I'm good. I'm ready to stop. I send him a little bit more because I want it to be my idea, not his. And so, while he's doing a good thing, he also needs to learn that I tell him when and, to go or stop. Today, we're going to try to get a little more motion on him with when he's mounted. Get Grace to participate a little bit more and see how it goes. But I'm really liking the way he's acting now. He's doing. He's really wanting to focus and listening to what I say, the smallest things.
Huh?
In every video, we hope you see, he's getting more confidence, takes less prep work. He's following the feel a lot better. And so while we're still going through all these motions of preparation, every day gets a little less. And of course, that all just depends on how the horse is that day, right? I'm watching and, feeling of the horse. seeing how he reacts to things. And so that's really the determining factor in how quickly we progress or expand. From this point on, we'll probably start doing quite a bit more, and of course, that just depends on his reactions to things, right? I want to keep progressing, but not overexpose him, at least for a little while. So if it takes a while, that's what it takes. It's not a big deal. Like I've said previously, his safety and comfort and stability is really a concern of mine, but also, our safety is a big thing. If I get Grace hurt, her grandparents and parents would just not be very happy with me. But it's the life she chooses to do. And, if you choose this life, you got to realize it comes with risk. I mean, you can't. This is not a profession of safety. I mean, when you're dealing with, these horses, 1,400 pounds, I would guess, 1,500 pounds, big animals that are, flight animals. Their first reaction is to get away. And then after a while, they'll stop and look back and see what scared them, but their first reaction is always get away from something. And, with that, there's some inherent risks to doing this. Trying to keep it as safe as possible and keep it as comfortable as possible for everybody involved. That's kind of what we're working at and taking that time to do. And that's not something that's common in the Western world. I've watched some videos of them, how they start their babies at the Spanish riding school, and that really intrigued me. They have a person on each side, and when they get somebody mounted, I mean, they spend a lot of time, and those horses are handled a lot throughout their lives. They're turned out in the mountains and stuff, but when they handle them, they handle them pretty well. Now, I found that pretty interesting. So for me, it's always about learning and adapting. This, doing this process. It's like this stuff, none of it is set in stone for me. If I see something I think that will benefit the horses, I watched some guys in Spain do different things, in Portugal, and these Spanish horses, they're a little bit different than a lot of what people deal with, in some of the quarter horses and stuff. They don't really take to rough handling very well. And they can become pretty, it's a lot of horse to have angry or scared. So we try to avoid that as much as possible. But you can see we're just going today. We're just going to trot out as fast as possible. We didn't mess around too much. The horse he's coming along. He's starting to get some cadence. I find that he does best if I'm at the rail, and he's on the inside. So if we get that moving here, and Grace is participating a lot more. She's starting to ride a little bit, get more confidence in him. As she gets more confidence and he gets more confidence, they do that together. It's going to be a lot smoother. So this is a huge improvement over the third ride already, I think. We're starting to gain some ground in movement and confidence and, his stability. The problem with these big buggers is they trot faster than my pony horse. Staying ahead of them sometimes is hard. These guys can really move. They've got some really fabulous movement, and Lego moves pretty well, but he's not as fast a trotter as these guys. He got a little stuck. We gave him a little bit more incentive to go, and I was encouraging Grace to do this. So, and at first he's not sure. She's starting to put some leg on him and cluck him up and figure it out. This direction is always his tougher side. I'm really encouraging Grace to be more active. Um, you know, that's going to come with some you know little jumps and startles sometimes. So here I've gotten further away from him, and I'm asking her to send him to me. And this is just prepping him for just him and her being together. We're trying to get her to work the reins as I kind of move his head a little bit and get him used to, following the feel of the rein a little bit better with somebody on the back. He's pretty focused on me, so we'll probably advance a little bit, maybe in the next one or two rides, and see how he does if I'm just guiding him from the ground and moving him that way. There she goes. I mean, we could get him cruising around there pretty quickly, but really want to work on these transitions before we get too far to where he can go, okay, I can do this. Trying to send him a little bit for her. Sometimes he gets in this mode like, hey, can't we just hang out? Can't we just stand here together? Wouldn't that be okay? We're getting a little stuck and we're just going to wait for something a little better to happen. There we go. There we go. Giving him a little distance.
There you go. Good
Being out there a little further. Not supporting as much. That's starting to look good. Took a little while, a couple of minutes. But, what's a couple of minutes? We're just kind of letting the line reel out there a little bit further, getting him a little bit more comfortable, not relying so much on my horse. There we go. Liking that. It's little steps, it's little progress, but, we'll take it. Now we'll go back to where he's more comfortable being on the inside of my horse. And just kind of encourage that movement, get that movement going again. A little start and stoppy. When he's in that comfortable place, he's gaining confidence, He's gaining a little more confidence. He's a little further away from my horse. I'm having a hard time keeping up with him. The challenging part about my job in this instance is, Grace has her job to stay on him. But my job is always to be in a position that I can help her if things go badly. And, not be too exposed. So I've got to stay in a position that I can help her through anything that happens badly, but also expand that that bubble a little bit to where he can work a little bit further away and not need me so much. But we feel pretty good about today. It was, we gained some ground. Every day we're gaining a little ground, and hopefully in the next several rides we're going to see, him actually be rode, where he's can handle a little bit more each day. And progress is progress. It doesn't have to be all at once. The confidence is coming, and real happy with this day. It was a beautiful Easter ride, and really, he was really pleasant today. We're always struggling with little things, but really pleasant. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video.